5 seconds. Mr. Vice Chairman, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, I rise to support the resolution brought forward today by my friend on the floor for the setting up of a National Population Commission. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to participate in the debate which concerns one of the most important national issues today, for which there is no short term solution. The growth of population poses a serious problem in this developing country. Sir, it is true that the level of population in a society has got a close link with the level of prosperity in that society. Detailed studies in this regard have been done from time to time, taking up for the purpose of comparison the social and economic conditions prevailing in the richer countries and the poorer countries, and also the conditions that prevail in the rich sections and the poor sections in the same country. It has always been found that those who are better off get themselves improved from their standard of living when compared to those belonging to weaker sections. Sir, I am sure that the resolution which our friend has brought forward to set up the commission will meet the acceptance of the entire house, because there is no scope for any disagreement at all so far as the main theme of the resolution is concerned. In my opinion, if there is one single factor which comes in the way of millions of this country sharing the fruits of development and the progress, it is the problem of population. In fact, I have always felt that if only we had the same population as any of the advanced nations with the national resources which we have, we would also be one of the developed nations, and nobody would be looking down upon us as a developing nation. I am sure you will all agree with me that the point which I am making is that unless the present alarming growth of population is checked, whatever development we have achieved in various fields throughout the country will be nullified. In that event of fact, instead of sharing the fruits of prosperity, we will only be dividing the poverty among our countrymen, and the worst sufferers will be those belonging to the weaker sections of the society for whom the development is intended. At this juncture, I would like to enlighten the House that much time has been taken during the last 5 years by discussing on the food situation. Anybody can speak on this subject without any statistics and criticize the government for their omissions and commissions. I am sorry to say that they have indulged in cheap criticism, as it was always easy to state in all places that many people were dying. I want to tell you straight away that in spite of many difficulties, we have maintained law and order and have kept up a proper standard of administration, because it is the easiest subject on which they can freely state what they cannot otherwise do in the course of the discussion on other specific subject they criticize. Let me point out to the House that it is not a matter which can be tackled overnight. The neglect of decades and centuries is before us. If the food situation still continues to be bad, it is because it was abnormal all those years. So we have to take quite a long time to improve the situation substantially. I think nobody will ever say that we have not done anything in this regard, having regard to the magnitude of the problem. However, much we may say to achieve quick results, it will certainly take some time. I therefore request the members to appreciate all these difficulties and bear with us for some more time. I firmly believe that there can be equality only among equals. In a society which suffers from income disparities and social inequalities, it is the poor who suffer from withdrawal of the subsidies. The underprivileged section of our population need government support. The problems arising out of progressive urbanization in the country are to be redressed immediately. The growth rate of urban population has been higher than the rate of investment in urban infrastructure, and effects are clearly visible. Sir, with your kind permission, I would like to refer to two more points before I resume my seat. The new world which is growing up in India is going to be scientific, technological and industrial world. It is a picture of the industrial revolution coming to India in the middle of the 20th century. It is changing the texture of our lives and our thinking. It introduces words without number which we have to use in the new occupations, and all the efforts of my friends cannot meet that situation. The language of science and technology will not come out of the classroom. It will arise from the people who are working in those fields. One of the basic facts today is that the medium of instruction in schools has become the language of the region. This will produce a generation utterly unlike the generation to which we belong. It is not a question of Hindi versus English. It is a question of education being carried on through the 14 languages. Therefore, English inevitably becomes in India as the secondary language. It is no longer the primary language. This is the first basic fact to be remembered. Before I conclude, I would like to respond that during the course of the discussion, various suggestions were made with regard to the actual implementation of this big national program. I am sorry to say that I am not at all in agreement with the view that certain amount of pressure should be used in implementing the same. Any program which aims at improving the standard of living of the people will be a success only if the people willingly come forward and involve themselves in its implementation. Therefore, the people have to be motivated as this is a very delicate matter. I earnestly hope that the government will agree to have a national commission to give advice on various aspects of the issues is concerned. Jai Hind.